Everyone in this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Convy.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for tuning us in on Tattletales. What's going on back there? It promises to be one of those days, folks, and you'll see why. We got three crazies back here, and here they are. On my left, winning money today for the blues section, Mr. Gary Berghoff and his wife, Janet.
He's one of my favorite actors.
Yes. Oh, you've been one of my favorites for years.
Has he?
Oh, yes.
Ever since radio, right?
Gary
since you were that
Berghoff
high.
from the old Phil Code radio. Oh, sure.
Right.
Janet, how
you
are
got
you,
to
love?
tie that.
Fine, thank you.
Are you feeling well today and everything's okay?
Yes.
Well, the audience will know when you come out for the second half that you are with child, and we'll check you out and see how you do it. Don't be too excited.
She's pregnant too.
I know that. Just relax and take it easy. Thank you. Winning money today for the banana section, ladies and gentlemen. First time with us, Mr. John Clark and his wife, Lynn Redgrave. Hello, loves.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
What's that funny accent you got?
What is that? It's that funny accent you got. Oh, I just love to hear you talk. Are you both ready for this?
No.
No.
Well, you gotta get yourself braced because you're in the banana section, and that's a very special way to come on to Tattletales for the first time. You'll see what I mean as time goes by, if you win especially. If you lose, they can get rather hostile, the banana section.
No.
But don't you worry about a thing. Winning money today for the red section, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Elliott and his wife, Dionne Warwick.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bert.
Oh, that's quite a welcome from the red section for you, Bill and Dionne.
Certainly is, Ali.
Nice to have you here, too, for the first time.
Nice
We've
to
got
be here.
two pairs of rookies here today. Rookies usually do very well on our show. We don't know why. First time out, I guess they tell the truth or something. I don't know what it is. Ladies, if you're ready, the first question is for you. It's worth $150. This is it. Have you ever made fun of any of your husband's old flames? Have you ever made fun of any of your husband's old flames? All right. Think about all those ladies in the past, and we'll come back and find out in a moment. Gary, is there anybody in particular that Janet remembers fondly?
Yes, Mrs. Miller. She's in the third row.
Really?
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. How are you? Gee, I haven't seen Mrs. Miller in such a long time. How are you, love? Oh, that's nice. You know, I'm glad you said that, Gary. I think we've arrived, gang. Because Mrs. Miller doesn't come to your show unless you're doing all right. I feel really good. Thank you, dear, for coming. Gary, how about Janet
Janet's
now?
very cool about that outwardly. She doesn't even talk about my old flames.
Really?
She's met a couple, I think.
Yeah,
I can't remember who they are myself.
Been that long, huh?
Yes, I would say no. She never.
She doesn't do that.
No.
Let's bring her on then. Janet, have you ever made fun of any of Gary's old flames?
Not that I can remember.
That's what he said. You're right. Janet, do you remember any of Gary's old flames?
Well, I never knew any of them. I know their names, but I don't know.
You do? Oh, I see. All right. Well,
That's enough, Janet.
Just,
That's
yeah,
fine.
leave it alone. You
Nice
did
short
fine.
answers.
You got to share it
Too
apart.
fine.
Forget about it. John, how about Lynn?
I have to tell you, nothing but.
Really?
Yes,
She loves to do that?
loves to.
Teases
Never-
you about them?
Absolutely. One
Look-
leg is longer than the other with me now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not to mention his old flames.
I'm not going to follow that. I don't think I should pursue that. Tell me, is there someone in specific, like one in particular that she really goes after?
I prefer not to go into that on this program. At this time.
I think we've hit a sore spot, folks. What do you think? But the answer is
Did you
definite.
really used to go out with Margaret Rutherford?
Never mind. The answer is a definite yes. She does make fun of some of your old flames. Okay, let's bring her on. Lynn.
Yes.
Have you ever made fun of any of John's old flames?
Well, I hope he's told you the truth. He certainly took a long time about it.
Yes.
But yeah, he had girlfriends with funny names like Peewit and things. Yeah, I made a lot of fun of
That's
that.
what he said. You're right. What was that name again?
I think it was Peewit, was it?
Peewit?
Something like that.
That's worth making fun of. You're right. I mean,
Just a minute.
how could you resist
One of
that?
my old flames.
No.
I object.
You too, huh? Thank
right.
you, Lynn. You have a share of the pot for the banana section. They're thrilled. Bill, what's Dion going to say?
Well, let's see. There was Mary and Jane and Joan and Leslie and Suzanne. Yeah.
She has.
Yeah, she has.
Is there
Yeah.
anything particularly amusing about Joan and Pat and Mary? and
Not
Suzanne?
really, except I had to go take hypnosis, so I stopped talking in my sleep. No, I think she does that in good nature. I
Yes.
think it's in good nature.
Of course.
Yeah,
As long as
but
she doesn't have a
does it.
weapon in her hand, it's okay.
Right.
She can say
And when I
anything she
saw the
wants.
gun, I knew it was in good nature. Yeah.
You say yes. Let's bring on Dion. Dion, do you ever make fun of any of Bill's old flames?
Do you mean saying that they're cross-eyed and buck-toothed and hawk-faced? I guess I do.
You're absolutely correct. You're all right. We start off and split that pot 3 ways. We have a 3-way tie, which is a nice way to begin. We'll see if we're tied when we finish. Come and stick around with us, won't you? Question number 2. This is it. Here we go. Ladies, if you're ready. No. Now we're going to be ready. I always do that. Ladies, in the old days when a ship sank, the order was women and children first. Well, there's no doubt about the kids, right? But now that we have women's lib, do you think that women should still be put in the lifeboats ahead of the men? Ha ha ha. See how you feel about that one. In the old days when a ship sank, the order was women and children first. Well, there's no doubt about the kids. We agree. However, now we have women's lib. Do you still think that women should be put into the lifeboats first? Huh? Think it over, ladies. We'll come back and see how you feel about it. Remember, the ship is going down. We'll start with you, John. The water is creeping up. Who gets in the boats first?
Really?
Well, I think the same thing applies, but for a different reason.
Ah.
What is the guy going to do when he gets to the desert island?
Yeah, big deal without the women, huh?
Right.
I see.
So I have to say, she's going to say yes.
She will say yes. It still applies. Okay. There's hardly any applause for that answer, John. I think let's have a few men in the audience today. No, that's all right.
It was a chauvinistic response, that's why.
Okay, let's bring on Lynn. Lynn,
Yeah.
you're in the middle of the ocean. The boat is going down.
Yes.
The cry goes out, women and children in the boat. Or do you think it should be women and children first? Children, yes. Women first or no? Yes
Well,
or
if
no?
if the alternative was the men first, no. I think it's the women's society. Women must go.
That's what John said. You're right.
Because
Okay.
I'm a female chauvinist pig. that's
Yes. Oh, I see. All right.
I'm a
Now
male
we-
one.
Now we understand. That is a bit of a dilemma, isn't it?
That's pigstress.
Pigstress?
Yes.
Oh, thank
Watch
you,
your
Gary.
mouth.
Yes, please. and wait
tell
your-
by the curl of
and
your
wait
tail,
your
young
turn,
lady.
will you please, if you don't mind. Thank you, Lynn. Bill, how about Dion? What will she say?
Well, Dion can't swim from here to here.
Aha.
She's deathly afraid of the water. In fact, I worry about the kids getting in the boat first. I'm absolutely certain that she's going to agree wholeheartedly that not only the women, but all women with the letters D starting their names to be followed by
First in the
I-O-N-N-E.
boat.
I think she's going to say women and possibly children first.
Possibly children, but not necessarily in that order. Okay, let's bring on Dion. Dion, do you believe that it should still be women and children first into the lifeboats, considering what's happened with women's lib and all?
Bill probably tell you that I'm not that fond of boats.
Yes, he did mention that.
It should be women and children first.
That's what he said. You're right. Okay. All I want to know is if it's mention the same thing in regards to opening a door or lighting a cigarette and watch them turn on you, right? Be a whole different thing. Okay, Dion, thank you. How about Janet? What would she say to this?
I really haven't got the slightest idea.
Really? Because I...
Oh, wait. This lady wanted me to touch her before, and now she's going, yeah. I think, but see, not for the same reasons. I think that she will say, not because she believes men first or women first, but that we're all equals. I think she'll say that she doesn't like rules.
Right.
I think she'll say, no, I'm just as capable of taking care of myself as he is.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, that's what I think.
Okay. I have a hunch you might be right, because I know Janet is very out front, and especially now. I'm sorry.
I knew I shouldn't have invited Gene Rayburn over for dinner.
Right. Let's bring on Janet. Janet, how do you feel about that? The ship is going down. The cry goes out. What should that cry be? Should it be women and children first, or anybody first, or anybody second, with children first? In other words, do you think women should get into the lifeboat first? Or no?
Is that that's a yes or no, right?
I think it's a yes. Yes or no? Do you think that women should still be put in the lifeboats ahead of the men?
No.
Okay, that's what Gary said. You're absolutely correct.
But there's more to that.
We split the pot 3 ways. You're all right. And we'll change places at halftime, gentlemen, if you will. Step to the rear. While we're doing that, we'll break away, but we'll come back with the second half. You come back. Oh, we have changed places. We have the ladies out in front. We're going to help them, too, aren't we? Now, fellas, if you're prepared, this question is worth 150 bucks.
What are you laughing at?
Hey, never mind. Just listen to the question.
What?
Traditionally, when women don't feel romantic, they say, "Not tonight, dear. I have a headache." Heard that before, fellas? How about you, guys? Have you ever told your wife that you don't feel romantic? Traditionally, when women don't feel romantic, they say, "Not tonight, dear. I have a headache." How about you? Have you ever told your wife that you don't feel romantic? And I'd be anxious to know how you said it. Think it over, fellas. We'll come back in a moment and see what you said there. We'll start with you, Dion.
Gosh, you will.
Has Bill ever said, "Oh"?
No, not in words.
Yes.
He has a much. He has a much subtler way of saying it.
He does, huh? What is that,
Yeah,
I wonder?
he puts his pajamas on and he starts snoring.
Yeah.
It's as simple
I
as
think that says it, doesn't it? Yeah, I think it says it. So he has, and his way is to go to sleep.
Oh, he goes to sleep.
Okay, let's bring Bill on. Bill, have you ever told Jan that you don't feel romantic?
See, I got a problem now.
Oh, really?
No, I've never told her that.
Yeah.
So the answer is no.
The answer is no.
There have been occasions when I did just go to sleep.
However, what?
There have been occasions when I did just go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, that's what she said, but you're absolutely correct. The essence of the question was, have you ever told your wife that you don't feel
I've never
romantic?
turned around to her and said, "I don't feel romantic."
I see.
She's
All
looked
right.
over at me and I've been asleep, that's all.
That's what she said, and that's what she went with, and that may be the truth, but it isn't the essence. It isn't exactly what we asked. We asked for exactly, and I'm sorry about that.
Right.
The red section is now unfriendly as they can be.
Well, I'm glad I'm back
We were
here.
such good pals, and look what happened.
I'm glad I'm back here.
Moving down the line. Janet, how about, what's his name? Gary.
Gary, yeah. Yeah, he's told me.
Has he?
Yeah.
Not tonight, honey, he says.
No, he doesn't say not tonight.
What does he say?
Not tonight. I don't know. It hasn't happened all that many times.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But on that one occasion that it did, do you remember those words and how succinctly he put it? Or do you
No,
not?
I really don't remember. I
Okay.
remember a lot of things.
You don't have to remember. You
I just
remember that,
remember
that it's happened. All right, let's bring him on. Gary, have you ever told Janet that you don't feel romantic?
I usually say, not tonight, honey, you have a terrible headache. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I have to clarify because the audience saw my reaction.
What's that?
What I was about to say is that my bedroom in my home is no place for me to have to prove anything. So I often say I'm too pooped.
Yes, I understand. You're right. You're right again. You're so right. We've just rung it up twice. I mean, you still get the money stays the same, no blue
Oh,
section.
well, that's
Sorry
not
about
fair.
that. Thank you, Gary.
Okay.
Lynn, how about John?
Yeah, well, I think so. I think so. He doesn't put it in quite those words, and I can't quite think what words he puts it. And
How about, are you
he
kidding? Or something like that.
no, sometimes like you know, things are getting me down or something like that.
Yes, right. My mind's
Yeah, he
someplace
said,
else, darling.
yes.
I'm just
Yeah.
too worried or something.
Something like
but
that.
But he has done it.
Yes, he has.
Let's bring
yes.
him on.
Let's see if he's honest.
John, have you ever told Lynn that you don't feel romantic?
Yeah, sure.
That's what she said. You're right. Absolutely right. Lynn and John, Janet and Gary split the pot in half. We'll come back in a moment, and we will split the rest of the pots and see who else feels romantic. I hope you do. Come on back. On this question, we shall separate the men from the boys. I promise you that. And the red section may even love me again. You never know. Here we go. Fellas, it's for you. It's worth $300. Men, do you consider yourself an intellectual? Don't say anything. Men, do you consider yourself an intellectual? All right? Fair question. Go away and ponder it, and we'll come back for your answers in a moment. And we'll start with Dion. Does Bill regard himself as an intellectual, do you think?
Well, he prides himself in being able to carry on conversations about practically anything.
I told you.
I think he is. Yeah, he's very bright. Yeah.
He'll say yes. Okay. The red section heartily agrees.
baby.
Right, red section? Are we agreed now? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Everybody, here he comes. Let's bring on Bill. Bill, do you consider yourself an intellectual?
I am a Gemini. That's one of the traits of Gemini. Unabashedly, yes.
That's what the lady said. You're right.
Does
Isn't
she
that
love
funny?
me again?
What's that? Yes. Yeah,
Does the red section
is
look
just-
less hostile?
Red section is mad for you. I didn't know
All right.
Gemini was an intellectual sign.
Oh, yeah, that's one of our traits.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
We're also very lovable,
Really?
right? We got a couple of bad faults, but
Oh.
we won't go into that.
Okay. We'll find out those later, maybe. Thank you, Bill. Janet, how about Gary? Does he consider himself an intellectual?
Well, Gary as well is a Gemini, and
Oh.
on more than one occasion he has told me how intelligent he is. So yes.
Well, give him half a chance, he'll tell you how bright he is every time, huh?
Yes.
You're going to say yes, he does consider himself one. Let's bring him on. Gary, do you consider yourself an intellectual, sir?
I often say, not tonight, honey, I'm
No,
thinking.
no,
Oh,
that's
I'm sorry. I see. But it's hard to make love when you're like this. Of course I consider myself an
That's what
intellectual.
Janet said, you're right. I love the attitude. I love that. Both guys, Gary says, of course. Are you kidding? Of course I'm an intellectual. And you're absolutely right, so you must be. I don't know. Lynn, how about John?
God, this is so hard. I think that both of us would think of an intellectual as somebody who perhaps was very, had an enormous education behind them, a formal education, I mean, rather than educating themselves. And John is one of the most educated persons, people that I know, but it's things he's acquired himself. He did not have a long formal education, and so I think he would say he wasn't an intellectual.
All right. You think he will say no?
God.
All right.
Oh, don't hate me.
No, they
Oh,
don't.
they loved me a minute ago. A lady waved at me. Now they loathe me.
No, no.
Oh.
They're so crazy about you. They don't even, in fact, they're so crazy about you, they're going to give away their share of this pot. They don't
To me?
do you, gang. Oh, that didn't go over so big, did it? Okay.
No, no.
Let's bring on John, see what he says. John, do you consider yourself an intellectual? That's what the lady said. You are all right. Absolutely perfect. You're all perfect. We split that pot
they
3
love
ways.
me. My friends.
And there you have it. Time is up. We have a tie. The bananas and the blues. We will return in just a moment and let you know exactly how much the bananas and the blues have won. Please come back. We'll tell you. We are back. We had a tie. The Bananas and the Blues, $275 apiece. We add $1,000. They will divide $1,550, which is very nice and fun. If I may, for just a moment, at this very moment, we are in New York City at a new time. We are in New York at 11 o'clock. Now, on June 16th, we will be all over the country at 10 o'clock on the Pacific and 11 o'clock in the East. However, now we're on at 11 o'clock in the East. But if you're out here in California, we're still on at 3 in the afternoon. That's all we have time for. I can't remember anymore. Thank you all. See you next time on Tattletales.
This is Gene Wood speaking for Tattletales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Codman production.
Are you watching, you little rascals?
Oh, it's fun, isn't it?
And who subscribes to it?
Go on. Push the button.
Think of the fun you could have on the tube.
The tube?
Tube.
TV tubes. That's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It's going to be a lot more fun if you keep going the way you're going.
Go on. Push the button.
Please subscribe.
I hope they're watching.